On this episode of AntSol Travel, we're going to go from Disneyland to the Hollywood sign Viewpoints by transit, and hiking too. But of course, we're going to show you at least some car directions to get there as well. So especially for there, you get to go enjoy some of the iconic views of the Hollywood sign, up closer than just further away. So let's go explore here from Anaheim to the Hollywood sign, here on AntSol Travel. First, we're going to go the transit route. I'll be taking OCBus to Fullerton, Metrolink to LA Union Station, LA Metro B line Hollywood and Vine, then LADOT Beachwood Canyon bus at the end of the line for the staging point of the hike. So let's get there first. So for the best value for our money is going to be the Metrolink Day Pass on the Metrolink app for $15 to go through all the Metrolink commuter rail system. That also includes free transfer fares as well. So this includes like many agencies, including LA Metro, OCBus, and LADOT that will be using along the way. And especially for there, this makes it easier and then just show, scan, and go, so you don't have to pay for additional fare. For the first segment will be OCBus 47 from the Anaheim Resort area to Fullerton Transit Center. From there, where I go from my starting point there is from up Anaheim Boulevard and Hastert Street, and then goes up to Fullerton. This can also be done, especially on the OCBus 43 as well. Arriving at the Fullerton train station and the Metrolink 91 Perris line that was going to take stopped along the CA 91 due to report of a car on the tracks between Corona and Fullerton. At least they got rolling again, but delayed by 25 minutes. At all grade crossings, there are signs to report of crossing emergencies. If a vehicle is stuck at a crossing, especially if it's on the slope, or low clearance of cars and trucks especially, that can bottom out and get stuck. A vehicle just happens to break down in the middle trying to cross the tracks as well. So for there, you just report the emergency that they get to see on the sign there. After 25 minutes, the train has finally arrived, which goes from Perris and then also through Riverside and Corona, and then to get to Fullerton, which there seemed like to be a lot of students that go there for Cal State Fullerton, and also people who work in the area there as well. Even though we're 25 minutes late, it sure beats driving to LA and Hollywood with all that traffic. And especially for there, it's only $15 in addition to local transit fares, making it much more economical than burning gasoline, usage of your car, and the super expensive parking in Hollywood. And especially, parking is very limited where we're going to as well for all the viewpoints too. So it's just easier just to go walk, just hike up and take transit. At 8:55 a.m., we arrived at LA Union Station safely, even though it threw everyone's schedule off by 25 minutes. Now I'll take LA Metro B line to Hollywood and Vine. The LA Metro B line is downstairs at either end of the train platforms. When you go through the fare gates, scan the QR code in your ticket scanner and you're okay to enter. At some stations, you need to scan the ticket or your tap card out for those kind of cases. How safe are our metro stations? At most metro stations, especially terminus stations of LA Union Station and North Hollywood for the LA Metro B line, there are also a good amount of train security officers to make sure that everyone's off the train and check for valid fares. I even saw some officers kick a person off the train since they did not even have a valid fare, and I have to redepart LA Union Station and they were kicked off at Civic Center. What about the other stations? Well, part of the problem is just safety of random people just jumping the turnstiles. Now they force you to pay with their new full height fare gates, so you can't jump over it. However, I had someone rush after me to get on after I tapped in. So at least the person is college age and she was like struggling to get her tap card out. So even the station's turnstile, it was still good. I was not concerned. Thankfully, she seems totally fine. There are two types of train sets for the LA Metro B and D line. The older sets are the Breda A650, are simple subway cars that are direly replacement since they were delivered back in 1995, just as old as I am. Yeah. And now they're going to be replaced by the new China Railway Rolling Stock Company. It's like CRRSC HR4000 heavy rail cars that are much quieter and more modern than 31-year-old Breda cars. After a 25-minute subway ride, we're at Hollywood and Vine Station, located right by the Panchagas Theater, the Capitol Records Building, and the W Hotel. Looks like 21st Century Fox also setting for the event there as well. For the bus stop we're going to go take for the LADOT bus is just up the block. So for there, you can just walk along Hollywood Boulevard and see all the stars in the Walk of Fame there as well. At our bus stop is also the stop for the LA Metro 222 bus, which you can also take on the way back there at the end of when we go on the way back. However, I took a different way over, so we'll get to that when we get there. Now boarding is the Los Angeles Department of Transportation LADOT Beachwood Canyon bus. LADOT fills a lot of niche routes that are not covered by other agencies, which for this particular route goes up to the Beachwood Canyon neighborhoods of Hollywoodland. I forgot my tap card at home, and I wasn't really particularly sure if this particular route was covered since it's not directly connected to a Metrolink station, so I just tapped on my tap card that's on my Apple Watch, which is only 35 cents with your tap card, or 50 cents if you paid in cash, which you saw in the cash box was $1 in there already, so which would cover 2 people. No, you're not going to get change back. You're not going to get half $1. Like Anaheim Transportation Network, ART buses, LADOT is fully electric with 30-foot BYD buses with quick acceleration up Beachwood Canyon. BYD is an electric vehicle Chinese manufacturer with manufacturing plants in Lancaster, California. After a nice 10-minute bus ride up Beachwood Canyon, we arrived at the end of the LADOT bus line at Belden Drive, which has it has a nice little commercial strip right there with like restaurants, like a mailbox place and a few other places there. And especially it's nice to have a middle neighborhood there as well for everyone who lives there. But now let's go up and hike up a mile up 447 feet in elevation gain up to the Hollywood sign viewpoint. Oh boy, and especially these are very narrow roads, so always be careful, and especially that make sure to have wear something brighter in general. This helps stick out, such as like orange or yellow, or especially have maybe a yellow backpack, so it is very, very bright yellow, so make sure to can hopefully stand out there for people who are driving and coming up to you, and always look over your shoulder and make sure that you're aware since the roads are very narrow. Welcome to what I like call is Mulholland Madness, hiking route named after the California adventure attraction that took its name from the windy hills of Mulholland Highway, which the highway is named after William Mulholland, who designed the much of the water infrastructure needed to get LA to where it is growing today, and especially with the reservoir and dam that is now set for Lake Hollywood there, which we will see in a bit. As you wind around the hills, you'll pass by many of the homes that are now cost a cool couple $1 million just to buy a home, as posted on Zillow. Some houses are also being rebuilt, so construction equipment may narrow the streets into one-way car traffic and may need to direct traffic, so always make sure to keep an eye out for traffic there. Where we're hiking is through what the original homes of Hollywoodland of home development, which is where the Hollywood sign was there to advertise. The Hollywood sign dates back to 1923 as an advertisement for now $2 to $3 million homes of Hollywoodland real estate development. That sits below the sign. Each letter is 23 feet tall by 30 feet wide and made of metal sheets that held together by a metal frame and wooden poles. Each sheet was dragged up to Mount Lee on dirt paths assembled on site. Signage became so iconic, the land part of the Hollywood sign was dropped, and Hollywood was left standing as to this day as signature to Hollywood's glitz and glamour of Hollywood Boulevard below. However, in 1978, the Hollywood sign was in disrepair, and celebrity sponsored the letter for each sign to go bring back the glitz and glamour of Hollywood back to the sign, and formed the Hollywood Sign Trust to protect the sign there. Each letter is still sheet metal, now held up with reinforced metal poles. Painting would be done every decade due to the intense sunlight. According to Sir William Painting, they did repainting of the sign back in 2022 with over 400 gallons of extra white SW706 paint. Directions from Beachwood Cafe and the shops are here from the bus stop are about 0.4 miles up Ledgewood, right on Rockcliffe Drive, then left on Deronda Drive. Once you go up on Deronda Drive, you'll first encounter the first glimpse of the Hollywood sign, so you may encounter some photo shoots that were happening there, like I did. There are some signs along the road forbidding street parking, so everyone going up the Hollywood sign would not clog up the street, especially for car drivers. They want you to do actual places that you actually meant to park for the public. So, you do it the other way, you're going to be doing it, I'll describe later. When you reach the end of Deronda Drive, it's probably gated off for cars, but there are openings for people to walk through to Mulholland Highway, and the first viewpoint reached at the Tyronian Tank Viewpoint. A mile hike up from the end of the LADOT stop, an elevation gain of 432 feet. So, with that done, let's continue along. The hardest part is done. There's also one more incline that we'll get to later. Next, continuing west on the Mulholland Highway is the last house on Mulholland in Lake Hollywood. Tons of people hike and jog along the trail, so be courteous to everyone there and maybe say hi. Next stop on the which is the last house on Mulholland, is a private property that's still vacant, but you can still do photos there. Then continuing down Mulholland, there was tons of car traffic that you need to keep an eye out for cars for as well, which is also part of the route on the way to get there with the car driving route there as well if you go through Hollywood. Down Mulholland Highway is Lake Hollywood Park, a perfect photographic spot with the Hollywood sign there. There's a fair amount of people there on the overcast Tuesday, so I don't want to know how busy it is on a sunny weekend. There is street parking, but it can get quite busy, so keep that in mind and you might get turned around there to find parking. After Lake Hollywood, there are full sidewalks and dirt paths for safer access. Now head to Cahuenga Blvd to get lunch at Sweet Lilly Cafe, about a mile away. Along the way is trailhead for Lake Hollywood Reservoir, walk along the reservoir. However, I need to get lunch, so no diversions from here. There's also street parking here as well, which I'm sure will get filled up on the weekends. From there is a 174-foot incline to the neighborhoods to get back to Barham Boulevard, which will take us back to Highway 101. Then we'll be crossing the street, turn left on Barham to Cahuenga Boulevard, and you'll eventually get to the busy Highway 101. Yay! Finally able to get to transit service again with the LA Metro 222. However, I missed the bus, but also I need to get lunch, so let's go to Sweet Lilly Cafe and get some lunch. I'll still probably miss the next bus, but whatever. For there, that was quite a hike, with an elevation gain of 725 feet along 725 miles from the bus stop to Sweet Lilly Cafe. According to my Apple Watch, I burned 516 calories for that trip, so doing that route is definitely not recommended for beginners. No, please don't. If you're going to do some light hiking, at least just do it from like Lake Hollywood to the Tyronian Tank Viewpoint at least. But of course you gotta drive there. Now for brunch at Sweet Lilly Cafe, it is owned by two culinary experts from France, especially one of them specializing in eclairs, which got their coffee eclair, and it was delicious with coffee flavor filling and glaze. For my entree, I got smoked salmon benedict with roasted potatoes and a salad. It was delicious. Since I didn't want to take too long for the restroom at Sweet Lilly, I decided to walk to Universal Studios City Walk and go there and check out what's new there. At Universal Studios and Cahuenga Blvd, there is a walkway to the City Walk. And also at that intersection is also a billboard for Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm, which is right across the street from Universal Studios. I'm surprised there isn't a third billboard there for Six Flags Magic Mountain at that point to complete the trifecta of rival theme parks that's right outside Universal Studios. Continuing up Universal Studios Boulevard, I continued up the walkway to one of the garages, where I have tons and tons of bike racks. It's impossible to get there by bike, especially how car-oriented the whole, 101 is, and Cahuenga Boulevard does not have a lot of bike lanes on there at all, so I don't get why I have so many. I have not been to Universal Studios in a while, since my last visit back in November 2024, and my last Universal Studios by transit video. The City Walk now has new retailers and restaurants such as the NBA store and huge new Raising Cane's location. Too bad I didn't research about it and already ate lunch. Oh well. I missed the train to the metro station, so did a half-mile walk to LA Metro Station. When I was walking downhill segment of Metro Station on Universal Studios Drive, Universal Studios was testing the upcoming Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift, set to open this summer. The coaster cars rotate like you're drifting through the Hollywood Hills, which was perfect timing to see. That was cool. At the Universal Studio City LA Metro Station, I took the LA Metro B line to Hollywood and Vine for Amoeba Music. Located on a block from Metro Station, they have tons of vinyls, CDs, merchandise, and more. However, most of the vinyl was well picked through that were used, but I picked up a couple ones that were still pretty good, including one Van Halen and one of David Lee Roth when he went solo, and then and also some CDs as well, all for $32. That was pretty cool. And then from there, I went back, started heading back to Anaheim with taking LA Metro B line to LA Union Station. And of course, sometimes you gotta also allow a bit more timing on there as well. You might miss the train. Of course, I just missed train when we just arrived. No. Well, at least decompress for an hour at the seating area there, at least at LA Union Station, which is valid for Metrolink and Amtrak passengers. Yay, at least. And then after that, I took took Metrolink back to Fullerton, and then took OCBus back. And especially since I was passing by downtown, passing by Vaughn's, I also got groceries for dinner as well. So, hey, I also got dinner. Perfect. So how about driving directions get to Hollywood and the viewpoints? So for there, directions to Hollywood for driving, it's pretty much from Anaheim, is to go up Hollywood Boulevard, go north on I-5, then US 101 north, exit Beachwood Avenue, turn left on Wedgwood, then continue on Mulholland Highway to Lake Hollywood Park, which you will also see that cars that are probably passing by did the same thing. Remember, street parking is limited, so there were a fair amount of people on the weekday before a storm. So I don't know how busy it would be on the weekends, so yeah, so take it with a grain of salt there. If you do manage to find a parking spot there, you can continue up Mulholland Highway to do the last house of Mulholland, and then also for the Tyronian viewpoint there as well. Well, what we learned after this, pretty much is you can navigate things there if you do have like exercise skills and willing to take transit and take time out of your day to do it there. You can definitely explore LA by transit, and especially go hiking and get some good amount of exercise there as well. And especially for me, how much I burned the calories that day? Over 1,000 calories. I was tired and sore, and especially carrying a backpack with all my gear in it did not help either. So it was still pretty good. I really liked it and had fun, and especially that's all that matters there. So especially my legs got stronger after that hike for sure. So I'm very happy with that. Thank you for watching here on AntSol Travel.
The next stop is Civic Center, Grand Park Station, Mill Street between 1st and 10th.